Oh, wow. Batman made $248 million in the box office? Wait. Why is everything delayed? What's up, guys? How's it going, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, I've got some bad news for the DC universe. Everything is delayed. Well, kind of. There is one bit of light at the tunnel, which we'll be discussing here in a moment. Of course, if you guys do enjoy today's video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet, turn on your notifications. Huge thank you to everybody that's been supportive of the channel. And of course, let's dive on in. So what are we talking about today? Well, just coming off the heels of the success, the massive success of the Batman, which is at this point in time, since the pandemic has begun, we have gotten two movies that have performed this well, and that would be Spider-Man No Way Home in first place and the Batman in second. And it is seemingly continuing to maintain some lovely momentum throughout this week as well, which is wonderful to see because it is a great film. Well, unfortunately, it looks like everything is getting all jumbled up within the DCEU itself because we have got delays across the board. This is super duper confusing to me as far as why this is happening. I don't think that this has anything to do with the success of the Batman, unless if there's some sort of a reworking of some of these movies. It's very, very bizarre just how substantial some of these delays are, because there are some movies that are delayed way further out than what we were anticipating. Coming into this year, DC looked like it was going to have a stellar year. Lots of different movies to look forward to, lots of games to look forward to, and it seems like the delay bug has bit the movie side of things as well. Not only did we see the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League get delayed on the video game end, now the movies are getting delayed as well. It becomes particularly confusing as to why this is happening, considering they did such a good job of promoting this entire slate just not that long ago at the Super Bowl. They did a really, really great spot. They had The Rock come out and do the whole, if you smell what The Rock is cooking or whatever the heck he did there. And it seemed like we're going to go on ahead and get all of these movies this year. That's what they advertised at the Super Bowl. And then now that's not happening. And so that's very weird to me in terms of the display of competence from the executives who put together that whole marketing campaign. It's very confusing to me as to why you would spend the money that would be spent in order to go on ahead and put together that Super Bowl spot, if then not even 2 months later, you're like, yeah, remember that thing that we advertised? That's all not happening the way that it is or was advertised. That's very weird to me. I don't know if that's part of what's happening with Warner Brothers going on ahead and combining and merging with Discovery. Maybe there's just some misunderstanding between the executives, but regardless, it does not bode well for the executive team there or for the potential appeal towards investors who now seem to look at this team and kind of question, like, do you guys even know what you're doing, considering that you're not really doing a good job of utilizing the resources you have if you just spend millions and millions of dollars to advertise something that has now been completely rechanged. So first and foremost, we have The League of Super Pets, which honestly looks like a pretty good movie. I mean, the fact that you got Rock and Kevin Hart, those two are always going to deliver, at least on the entertainment side of things. I know some people think that it's overdone. They think that their dynamic has been seen too often. Personally, I don't mind it. I think they work really well together. So I was looking forward to checking this one out. Plus, the addition of Keanu Reeves as Batman is a really, really cool thing to see as well. So I was looking forward to seeing this one. And fortunately enough, even though this movie is delayed, we will still get to see it this year because it will be moving from May 20th, which was just kind of around the corner, to be honest, to now it will be in the spot that Black Adam was supposed to be airing in, and that is going to be July 29th of 2022. So we still get to see it this year, only gets a bump up in time for just about 2 months. So kind of it is a delay, but it's only 2 months. So I really don't mind this one whatsoever. So next we have Black Adam. Now this movie is getting quite a bit of a bump up in terms of release. It will be moving from July 29th all the way to October 21st of 2022. So again, the good news here is that we will still get to see this one this year. It's just going to be a little bit further in the year than what we anticipated. It gets moved from a summer movie to now basically a Halloween movie, which is an interesting shift there. I don't necessarily know why this would get pushed, just beyond the fact that obviously Super Pets took its spot. So because of that, in order not to have it rival, this gets pushed a little bit further as well, because this movie looks like it is definitely very, very, very far along. So I don't think that this is a case of where some people have already begun speculating like, oh, well, the reason why everything is delayed is because the Batman did so well that now they're forcing everybody to redo things. I'm like, guys, these are like 2-month to 3-month pushes. This is not enough time to like change drastically the movies and not have them completely be a disaster. So I think that these movies are still going to be the exact same movies that would have aired in that previous time slot, maybe with a little bit more polish on the visual effect side of things. But beyond that, I really don't think we're going to be getting like any substantial changes in tone or anything like that, which is stuff that I've been hearing on Twitter, on Reddit, people saying like, oh yeah, this is the reason why is because the Batman is so successful. So they want to go back to a much grittier tone for everything. I'm like, there's no way that they're redoing Super Pets to be more gritty because of the Batman. That's a crazy, crazy theory. But regardless, we still get to watch Black Adam this year, which is awesome. So I am looking forward to checking this one out in October of 2022. And next up, we have Aquaman 2. This one was actually originally slated for December of this year, but unfortunately now has been kicked into next year. And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if it gets delayed a little bit further, just because I feel like we've seen so little of this movie. I think everything else on this list, except for The Flash, which we'll get to in a moment, I think we've seen like substantial moments, lots and lots of screenshots, lots and lots of behind the scenes footage, lots and lots of pretty much ready stuff that looks like the movie is very far along. Whereas this one and The Flash seem to be quite a bit further behind the other titles that we discuss here today for the DC lineup. And so even that March 17th date, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets kicked a little bit further down the road, depending on how quickly they can finish all of the shots, the visual effects shots, and of course, the visual effects themselves. So we'll see. Again, this is one that I'm actually excited for. I thought the first one was really, really, really fun movie, just tonally. I hope they maintain that kind of excitement that they had for the first movie. So we'll see. A slight delay for this one of just a couple months. So unfortunately, yes, we'll get less DC movies this year, but it leaves us with something to look forward to in Q1 of 2023. Now, the biggest of these delays is The Flash. If you guys have heard me speak about The Flash on any of the streams that I do, which, by the way, tune into those on a daily basis, I stream, so make sure you got your notifications turned on. Hopefully, I'll see you guys in one of these streams. But regardless, I've spoke about The Flash before. I'm not excited for this movie whatsoever. I think that this is a horrible casting for The Flash. I just don't see this guy at all as Barry Allen. Like, to me, he just does not come off well as the character of Barry Allen. But regardless, I'm not going to go on ahead and drink that haterade here and keep on egging on this movie. But interestingly enough, it is the movie that has now been delayed the furthest. We were supposed to get to see this thing in November of this year, ahead of Aquaman, which is interesting. And now it's actually going to be delayed all the way to June 23rd of 2023. So that's a 7-month delay for this movie. To me, that implies that this is probably the one movie where you could make a strong case that it is getting a few substantial changes, or there's a specific requirement for why this movie needs to be placed where it is. Now, again, I've heard some people mention that, oh, well, the reason why it's pushed is because you have to see initially Aquaman, and you need to see Shazam, and you need to see all of these other movies first, because then what happens in this movie will make more sense. Since, if you don't know, this movie is supposedly going to be doing Flashpoint, which is basically kind of a reset of the entire DC universe. Now, that might be a valid point. It's just interesting to me how this movie was supposed to release in November, ahead of Aquaman, which was supposed to come out in December. So what changed? Did something about Aquaman change? But yet its delay is only a couple of months, whereas this movie is getting a 7-month delay. So I wonder if this is more like retroactively now things are starting to change, and because of that, this thing is getting pushed way further out. Regardless, this is, in my opinion, going to end up being the weakest DC movie released out of this entire 5. I think this movie will be worse than the Super Pets. I just don't see anything about this film that, to me, sounds exciting. Yes, you can call me a hater. That's perfectly fine. I just honestly have not heard anything good from this movie. I don't look forward to any aspect of this film. And so, because of that, this is the one that I'm like, I'm not really all that surprised that it's getting as much of a delay as it is, because nothing that has come out from this film has been interesting. And second of all, I am not really bummed out about the fact that this one is that delayed, because this is the one that I am not excited to see anyhow. So I'm perfectly okay with this one being delayed. Now, with all that negativity out of the way, let's jump to some positivity. Because as I said, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. And that positivity comes in the form of Shazam 2, aka Shazam Fury of the Gods. Because this movie has been pulled all the way from June of 2023, which is now where we're going to get to see the Flash, up to December 16th of 2022. So it basically takes Aquaman's spot in December and gives its spot to the Flash in June of 2023. Now, this movie does seem to be far along, so it makes sense that they would go on ahead and have this thing ready to air this year. I'm looking forward to this one because I think that Shazam, again, was a really, really great entry in the DC lineup. I think it was a super duper fun movie, and a movie that is just genuinely fun to rewatch again and again. It holds up over time. And so I think that I'm very excited to see what they come up with for Fury of the Gods and where they go from there. And it looks like this is definitely going to be a Shazam-based and focused year, because we've got Black Adam, who of course spawns from that same universe, and we're getting Shazam. So hopefully we'll start building that up, and maybe this movie and Black Adam will finally pit the two of them against one another. And so then we have Shazam versus Black Adam as maybe the next movie that we get to look forward to sometime in the near future. So let me know what you guys think of these delays. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's necessary? Is this just simply them moving things around for technical reasons? Is there a more specific reason? Like maybe you believe the theories that people are basing around the success of the Batman? Let me know down in the comment section below. Which of these movies are you most looking forward to? We still have an excellent lineup to look forward to for this year. Yes, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer to actually see these films, but regardless, the good news is that we still do get at least 3 of these movies for this year. And then, of course, next year now has 2 DC movies on the lineup. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't yet, and of course, turn on your notifications by hitting the bell button. You can also support the channel by grabbing some merch. Thank you so very much for your support. And of course, in addition to that, you can become a member. A link is down in the description. Thanks for watching. I will hopefully catch you guys here next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everybody.